follow my channel, you would know that I took a break this summer. I wasn't making videos. Michelle and I didn't put the pool up this year. She didn't want to, and she doesn't want to be in videos anymore. So I decided to take a break. I've been indoors all the time, and this is my new hobby. As you can see, it is taking over my kitchen. So my kitchen table, we never ate at the kitchen table. We ate in the family room. We only ate at the table if we had company over, and now I never have company over, so my table has been taken over. So anyway, I'll go through all the things that I'm growing and how it's gone, because it is a bit of an experiment, trial and error, and everything did not go perfectly. So I'll go through what I'm growing. So it all started with this tomato plant. Now Michelle and I planted this last year. So we thought it would be fun to plant some seeds and see if they grow, and it did grow, but it never got any tomatoes. So since September of last year, it kept growing, and as you saw, it got bigger, but no tomatoes. So I read that most plants need 8 to 12 hours of sunlight a day. Now I did have the blinds open, but I wouldn't come downstairs until noon because I was upstairs on my computer, and I didn't always have the blinds open. So now I make sure the blinds are open from sunrise to sunset. And I also got this grow light, but this is a bulb that you can put in a regular lamp, so you don't have to have a special kind of light, and it's only 11 watts, and it's full spectrum light for plant growth, so I figured it can't hurt. It doesn't use that much power. I don't have it going all the time. In the day I just have the natural light, but on really dark days, or in the evening, I could put it on for a couple of hours and it's not going to be taking that much hydro. So the plant had more light. Another thing I did, I moved it to a bigger pot so it had more room. And it was kind of like collapsed over, so what I did was I got some sticks, and then I got this cage, tomato cage. I wound up getting it free with my points. So there are a lot of pots here, as you can see. Some of them I had already, and some I got for free with my points. But yeah, the tomato cage I got for free, and as you can see, it's gotten quite big now. So I'm so excited that finally, after a year, it's growing tomatoes. So I can't wait until they turn red and they're ripe and ready. So it's got some there, and it's got some over here. So the other thing that I learned online, the flowers. Okay, so when it's outside, the wind would be rustling the flowers, and bees would be landing on it and whatever, and it would be pollinated. But because it's indoors, I have to do that myself. So the way that you do it is the tomato flower has both male and female parts inside it. So you just have to tap on it to get the pollen where it needs to be, and then it must have worked, because now I've got these little tomatoes, so I can't wait till they grow. It's hard with it backlit, but anyway, so when I looked up videos about how to grow tomatoes, I've discovered a whole world of growing your own groceries, and I call it DIY GROWceries. I don't know if this shows up, but I'll put it in the title anyway. Yeah, because a lot of the groceries that you get, you can regrow them from scraps. So yeah, I discovered a whole bunch of videos. There's this guy, and he's awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, the guy is awesome. Creative Explained, and he has these really dynamic short videos with sound effects, and he's got this catchphrase, "Don't throw it out, you can regrow it." So, and I mean, some of the things, yeah, they do work. Like lettuce, you can put in water, you chop off the bottom, put it in water until it grows roots, and it does. And then, where's my lettuce? Hang on. And once it has roots, you can plant it in soil and it regrows. So you can also get, okay, this is pretty heavy, but I don't know if this is going to show. So you can also get live lettuce, which comes with roots. So I've done that. Now they don't always regrow. Like, this is nothing to write home about, this little guy. I don't know if that's showing, but anyways, yeah, you get these lettuces and they've already got roots, so they're easy to plant. And then this is just another romaine, and it's regrowing. One of my very favorite things to regrow are green onions. They're awesome because you just, where's my green onions? So you just put them in water, you chop off the bottom, put it in water, and they've got roots already, and the roots spread out and they regrow like this. These are some green onions. Now a lot of them are missing because I've been using them. So when I ran out of green onions, like I'm literally just cutting them. And this is the thing, that you buy your groceries and then you regrow it and you can reuse it. Like that's truly reduce, reuse, recycle, because I'm even recycling food. And it's cool because, and you know, and they're green onions. So, and they're really good. And then once they've, well, these already have roots, so you can let them, you can put them in water or you can put them straight into soil. And these are in soil, and again, I've been using them, so they're cut down. But yeah, you plant them in soil. So green onions are a sure bet. So even if you don't want to have your whole table taken up by pots, you can, you know, maybe put a little cup or a little vase of water and put some green onions in and sit it on your windowsill and grow onions. Another thing, herbs are fun to grow, and they don't get too big, so I've just started these. Some mint, oregano, basil. Now this basil I've had a while, and they even grow little flowers. It's so cute. But fresh basil is so good in spaghetti sauce and things. But look at the roots. Like look what it does. Isn't that cool? So a couple of these I've already planted in soil, and I'll show you. Okay, so I don't know if this is showing very well, but this is basil, and so I put them in water and they grew roots and I planted them. Now this really tall one, he was really thriving, he was quite happy and doing well. Now these little guys, especially this guy, he was all wilted and you know, bending over and didn't look like he was gonna make it, but I didn't want to give up, so I kind of gave him a pep talk. You know, you can talk to your plants, it can't hurt. And I said, come on, little guy, you're going to be okay. It's all right. And I gave him some water and put him in the sun. Well, he perked up. So that's another lesson I've learned is don't give up. If something looks like it's not doing well, give it another chance because sometimes it'll surprise you. Now, one thing that I thought was going to be easy to grow because other videos had shown it as though it was, and it wasn't at all, is the garlic. This actually took a month for this to sprout. So I've had like rotting garlic in pots and in cups in my kitchen for like a month, over a month, and it finally sprouted. But the other videos, they make it sound like it's so easy. Like this is the thing about these short videos. Yeah, they're cute and everything's happy and unicorns and rainbows and don't throw it out and you can grow a tree. They make it seem like it's so easy and it works every time, and it's just not the truth. Like some things don't sprout. So some of the onions never did sprout. These are just starting to now. I find the white onions, or yellow onions rather, sprout better than the red. Now this red finally sprouted, but this has taken over a month. I find the white or yellow onions sprout better. But yeah, some of them never sprouted at all. So for the herbs like oregano, you just get a package like this and you just take out the stems, and what you do is just remove all the bottom leaves, and of course you can use those in your cooking. Although I'm dropping them on the floor now, it's not going very well. But yeah, remove the bottom leaves so that you just have the stem. And then cut the bottom on an angle, and then just put it in the water. Yeah, and then they will sprout. They will sprout roots. Like, look at this basil root. Like, this is crazy. I love that. Like, see the roots growing, and then you can plant it in soil and have fresh basil or oregano or whatever you want all the time. Here's another one. Didn't go as crazy, but yeah, you can see the roots. Hopefully that shows up. So if you're looking for a sure thing, safe bet, it is going to grow every time, and guaranteed. Oh my gosh, sweet potatoes. Look how cool these things are. Like, look at this. I don't know if this is even showing because there's so much stuff around it. This is kind of heavy to lift. But yeah, look at this. So you put them in water and they grow roots in the bottom, and then they grow these amazing sprouts, like long vines. Yeah, I'm gonna take this guy out so you can see him better. Okay, so I know I'm kind of a nerd, but this is so cool to me. Like, you get a sweet potato and put the pointy part in the water, and it grows all these roots, and it starts to grow these stems, and look how long they get. And what's really amazing is you can eat the leaves. Like, okay, don't eat regular potato leaves, they're toxic, but sweet potato leaves are edible. And this is one of the other things, one of the reasons I'm doing this garden. It's not just because it's a nice project to share with Michelle and it's fun to grow stuff, and I love plants. Like, plants actually clean the air because through photosynthesis they convert carbon dioxide to oxygen, which is pretty cool to have around. But also it's food, you know, like this is sustainability. This is like preparing for the apocalypse, which we're practically in if you've seen the place. Not only the pandemic, which we don't leave the house and we're very careful when we mask. I mask even to mow my lawn outside. But also, we stay home all the time, but also climate emergency, like fires and floods and all that's going on. Like, what if, hypothetically, could happen in the near future because of all the fires and floods? What if there are no crops? What if there are no supplies? What if, you know, you can't even buy food in the grocery store, produce? So, you know, to know that you can grow your own, like, that's very comforting. Plus, financially, it's been a struggle because with inflation, prices keep going up and my income does not. So it's hard to make ends meet. I've heard of some families, even though they're working, they're going to a food bank. They can't afford food. So, you know, from your scraps, you can grow your own food. Like, and I mean, this, I'm keeping it in the glass because I love to see the vines growing, but you can plant this in a bag with soil and grow more potatoes. And I am going to be growing potatoes as well. Like, the sweet potatoes to me are so cool, and they all grow a little bit differently. Okay, this guy has just started, so he hasn't got anything yet, but like this one was had roots and sprouts before this one, but then this one just went crazy and had so much more. But look at this guy. He's got these crazy roots that look so cool, and then all these shoots at the top. So to me, I find it amazing. Another sure bet, if you're looking for something that's easy to grow and that's going to be fun for kids to watch growing, etc., beans and chickpeas. Oh my gosh. So I can see where they got the inspiration for Jack and the Beanstalk, because they grow so fast. Like, you put a couple of beans in a wet paper towel, fold it over, put it in a Ziploc bag. It sprouts in a couple of days. It's got a little sprout. And then within a few more days, it starts growing these leaves, and then it grows these vines. Like, this is only after a couple of weeks. Like, to me, it's amazing. So I've got several kinds of beans. There's chili beans and pinto beans, white beans, and my personal favorite, chickpeas. So Michelle wanted to grow her own, so she's got this little cherub of chickpeas, and that's how they look. I've got some more over here. These ones have just started. These ones in a few days. And then these guys, like, how cool is that? I love them. And they're so cute. So celery's another one that's pretty good in water. It regrows, but sometimes, like, this one's doing okay. I've got one that's kind of languishing back there. He doesn't look too great. Strawberries. Now, I had this planter from before because I used to love going to garden centers and I planted things all the time. So I had this from before, and it's perfect for strawberries. So there are some little strawberry seedlings in here. They're very tiny, and they do take a long time to grow. Like, in some of those videos, they say, you know, plant the seeds and before you know it, you'll have a tree. It's like, well, no, actually some of them take 2 years to even bear fruit. So it's not really realistic, but they are growing. Another thing I did, I thought it would be cute to plant strawberries in the strawberry container because it's like a little greenhouse. This was full of strawberry slices and there's only a few spots that are growing, so it doesn't always work, but there are some. So yeah, growing strawberries in a strawberry container. Talk about reduce, reuse, recycle. Now, like the strawberries, I tried to grow blueberries in the container. It didn't go so well. I haven't seen anything yet. I heard that blueberries are biennials, so they might only grow every 2 years. But yeah, it could take 2 years to bear fruit. So some of these videos where they say, oh yeah, grow blueberries. It's like, they make it sound so easy, it's not. Now, out of all the blueberries that I planted, this was the only one that sprouted, and I got so excited because I thought, oh my gosh, one of the blueberries sprouted. Because the thing is, every plant has 2 leaves at first. They almost all look the same. But then once it grew a little bit more, I'm like, wait a minute. So what I think happened is, because when I was low on soil, I was using some of the soil that was in the tray, and I think there was a red pepper seed in it, because it looks just like the red peppers. So this is an imposter. This is not a blueberry. It's a red pepper, but that's okay. So yeah, that's another sure bet. Red peppers, like look, all of these are from one red pepper. So I started off, I put the seeds in an egg carton, and at first I was starting to lose faith because it had been a while. Like I think it was good couple of weeks or so before there was even a hint of a seedling. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not growing anything. But then they did finally, and they all sprouted. Like I swear, every single seed sprouted. So I wish now, if I had it to do over again, I would have saved half the seeds, because now, like God forbid, when all these red pepper seeds sprout fully, if they all bear fruit, like I'm gonna have thousands of red peppers, way more than I need. I should have staggered it and just planted a few at a time, but I'm learning as I go. I didn't know if they would all work. Sometimes it just doesn't work. But the red peppers, yeah, all of them sprouted. So the red peppers, yeah, all of them sprouted. So I'm gonna have a lot of red peppers, and when they get bigger, I'm gonna have to put them in their own pots, but yeah. Broccoli is another thing that I tried. It hasn't done super well. They do grow some new little leaves, but I've had a couple that have languished, like that guy's not doing great. So some of them don't work so well. I tried to grow cabbage. It looked like it was getting a root, but then I don't know, this guy doesn't look too great. I've grown a few more tomatoes. These are all tomatoes in various stages. That's when they're just new. Carrots. Okay, I tried to grow carrots. I had a bunch and I put them in water. You're supposed to cut off the top and then put it in water, like this guy's just started, and he doesn't look very good, but anyways. But the mistake I made was I still had the green stems, and so it wasn't growing anything. So then I cut down the stems, and now this started growing. So it is growing. But the thing about carrots is you don't actually grow a new carrot. What it does is it'll flower, and then you get seeds, and from the seeds you grow a carrot. So that's kind of misleading in some of the videos too. So another thing that we've been doing is we've been trying different fruits and vegetables that, you know, never had before. Michelle had never tried them. I've had kiwi and pomegranate because I figured we'll plant the seeds as well. I wasn't able to get a pomegranate from the grocery store, but I ordered some seeds. I didn't know if they'd grow. They haven't sprouted yet. Now dragon fruit, I got myself all excited because dragon fruit grow into a little cactus that's so cute. So I got my heart set on growing dragon fruit. But then when I went to order it, the grocery store said they didn't have any, it's not in season, blah, blah, blah. But I was so mad, I still wanted dragon fruit. So I ordered some seeds, and I didn't know, on Amazon, who knows, are they gonna grow? Well, I was so excited because they did, they sprouted, and I recognize them because I've seen time-lapse videos, which are so cool, by the way. I love time-lapse videos. And so this is what they look like before they turn into a cactus, but they grew. So it wasn't too bad because it's $5 to buy a dragon fruit, and it was $5 for the packet of seeds. So anyways, when they get a little bit bigger, I'll put them in separate pots, and Michelle wants to have one of her own too because they're like a cute little cactus. So yeah, it's awesome, like discovering all these new exotic fruits and vegetables that we wouldn't usually have, and growing them. So it's awesome. So other than Creative Explained, there are also some other YouTubers, videographers, whatever, that have made gardening videos. One of them is the Frenchy Gardener, and he got me excited about growing potatoes. Now, when I wasn't trying to sprout potatoes, when I was just living my life, I would get a bag of potatoes and keep it for about a month, because that's how long it takes us to use them up. And usually by the time the month was over, they'd be sprouting, and my mom calls them eyes, and I just would like cut them off, shave them off, whatever, and I could still eat the potato. But now that I was trying to grow potatoes and wanted them to sprout, none of them sprouted. Like, what the heck? It's been months. These maybe russet potatoes don't sprout. I don't know. But they have never sprouted, not a single sprout. Some of them turned green, some of them went bad, but none of them sprouted. I also got these cute little potatoes because I thought it'd be fun to sprout. And these ones finally sprouted after a month. I don't know if this is showing up. Really cool looking sprouts. But the rest of them, nothing. Like, no. Some of them don't sprout, and some of them just go bad and get this like black bubbly ooze coming out, and you throw them out. But yeah, like that's the thing about these videos. They're so cute. It's like, grow your own potatoes, and yeah, that's all nice, but you're glossing over the fact that they don't always sprout. Things don't always go the way you want. So once my potatoes have sprouted, I've got now some white ones, and hopefully they'll sprout eventually because the russet ones just didn't, and the little ones. I've got these grow bags, which are really cool. So I'm going to put it like on a caddy on the floor so it doesn't wreck the floor, because this is porous. But you put the soil in and you put the potatoes in here, and then when you go to harvest, the front flap opens. So you harvest the potatoes out of there. Like, how cool is that? So anyways, haven't done that yet because I'm still waiting for the potatoes to sprout. But yeah, I'm going to have a bag of the little ones once I have enough of them. And I will have a bag of regular potatoes and yeah, grow them. So yeah, these, I can't remember how much these were. Not that much. These grow bags are a good idea because they're more cost effective and they're light to carry around. Yeah, with pots, make sure that it always has drainage. So if a pot, like these have holes in the bottom and they come with I like when they come with a saucer, because sometimes they don't, you have to improvise. Like I put this in a cheese package so that it won't leak. But yeah, make sure it has drainage, because if the water can't drain, then it gets root rot. So there are some pots that don't have the drainage holes. So if a pot doesn't have any drainage holes, make sure that you put some gravel or something at the bottom so that there's somewhere for the water to go so that it doesn't just rot. But yeah. But not everything went as planned, okay? Cucumbers. I was excited about growing cucumbers, and I heard that you put the seeds in a wet paper towel, just like with the beans, and they sprout in a few days, and you plant them, and you know, they grow in 7 days, and they grow these long, beautiful vines. Well, that's all well and good, but I tried to grow cucumber and nothing happened. The seeds, for one thing, I couldn't get a field cucumber at my store for some reason. They only sell English cucumbers. The seeds are very tiny, they're hard to see, they're hard to find, and they never did sprout. I waited for weeks and they never did sprout. So it doesn't always work out the way you want. I still planted the seeds just in case, but I'm waiting for something to happen. Another example, okay. So to me, the best experiments are with food scraps that you would have thrown out anyway, because you have nothing to lose. You would have thrown it out anyway, the bottom of a lettuce or celery or green onions or whatever. So it can't hurt to try to grow that. And most of the things do grow, but some of them don't. Okay, there's a video where they outright lie. There's a couple of them. Okay, so one of them, there's been a few videos where they show grow a banana tree, which I was dying to grow a banana tree. I tried it. So I even got an aloe vera plant, because you're supposed to take the banana and cut the tip off the stem and rub it in a little bit of aloe vera because it boosts growth, whatever. Did all that and put it in the soil. It never grew. And someone else was saying that it's actually faked. like, it looks like when they take out the banana, it's got these roots, but they've sewn it on or hot glued it on. It's totally fake. So I tried it anyway. It didn't work, but then I got some banana seeds from a banana, and that didn't work either, but I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep trying to grow a banana, but no luck yet. There is a video out there. I'm not going to name any names, but you can find it if you look for it. There's a video that claims that you can grow grapes on a tomato tree. And what they do, they cut grapes in half, and then they take a regular tomato seed, put it in the middle of the two grapes, bury it in the soil, and then they show this lovely tomato plant with grapes on it. Not grape tomatoes, grapes. And it looks so real, and they must have hot glued or something. Anyway, I tried it for fun. I didn't really expect it to work, and yeah, no surprise there, it did not work. But I thought maybe at least, you know, maybe it'll accidentally grow some grapes or accidentally grow a tomato. No, nothing's ever happened with it. So some videos are just flat out BS, and it's just to get millions of views, and it's frustrating because the people that, you know, have these flashy videos, millions of views, grow your own banana tree, grow your own grapes on a tomato tree, and it's fake. And then I'm telling the truth, and probably nobody will watch this, but I keep it real. I'm going to tell you, this is, you know, some things just don't work. Some things are just flat out lie. Some things are a lot harder than they make it sound, and some things just do not work. So yeah, I don't know. I might have forgotten some things, but I'm probably going to do another video because I'm going to try some more fruits. Like, I got a passion fruit, which is really cool. I don't think I've ever tried a passion fruit, but I've seen the vines and the flowers are beautiful. They're like something out of this world. The fruit itself doesn't look that appealing because you open it up and it's just like this gushy, massive green goo with seeds in it, and you eat that part. But I'm going to grow some of the seeds and see what happens. So passion fruit. I'm going to try to grow a couple of pears. I'm going to try to see if there are any seeds in a lime instead of a lemon, and a plum. Oh, the apples. Okay, so I love Macintosh apples, and I thought I'd try to grow an apple tree, even though, yeah, in the house it's going to be hard, but whatever. So we actually, when Michelle and I planted the tomato seeds last year, we did plant some apple seeds as well, but a seedling grew, and I thought, well, I can't grow an apple tree in the house, and I put it in the backyard. It didn't last. A lot of seedlings, they don't last outside. I've gotten a couple of trees from my parents from their property, and a couple of them have really done well, but a lot of times, like, trees will grow themselves. Like, sometimes a seed will go in my side garden, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a tree like my front tree, but it can't grow beside my house, so I'll dig it out, roots and all, and it doesn't make it. Sometimes they just don't make it. But anyways, so apples, yes, I wanted to grow apples. So I saw videos on it, and they said that you put the seeds in a wet paper towel in the fridge. They have to be cold first because of stratification. So I guess it's like if they were in the ground in the early spring when it's still cold, when it's going from winter to spring, they're in a seed in the ground and it's cold, and then they come out and grow when it's warm. So anyway, I waited a month for these things to sprout, and I kept checking, and I couldn't see anything happening. And there was like just this tiny little, I'll show you. So I'm like, is that even a sprout? But anyway, I took the cold seeds and I planted them, and I was so excited. Apples! And I know they're really apples and not like the red pepper imposters again, because they have the seed right on it. I don't know if this is showing. It's so cute. Like, the apple seed is on the top of the plant, the same as with the beans. So these are a few little apple trees, and you know, when if they get big enough, I'll get a bigger pot, I'll put them in a grow bag, and I'll have a caddy on the floor, and you know, my kitchen will be taken up with trees. But to me, to be able to grow things indoors, it's awesome, and I love watching things grow. If you ever get a chance, watch some of the time-lapse videos. I find them beautiful. Like, some of them have classical music, and you see the plants growing, and some of them even dance around, like they twirl around, and they're reaching up for the light. It's beautiful. I mean, the lesson, I think, is that living things all have a survival instinct, except maybe humans right now, because humans are running amok and they don't even care if they die of a virus or climate catastrophe or anything. But plants, everything they want to grow and thrive. They want to live. So they do need certain things. They have requirements. They need shelter from the elements. They need protection from pests and disease and predators. They need nourishment. They need sunlight. They need water. But if you do all these things, they grow and it's beautiful. Now, some things are hardier than others, and you know, they'll grow no matter what. Others are a little more delicate and you have to be careful. But basically, living things want to grow. And you know, maybe it's because I'm a Taurus, I'm an earth sign, but I've always loved plants, and I'm so glad to be growing things again. And it's practical because it's food, you know? I'm a survivalist, and this is food. If nothing else, I can grow my own food. Anyway, yeah, I don't know if I covered everything, but it's getting late and I gotta go, and I'm gonna do more videos probably because, like I said, there's other things that I'm gonna try to grow, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe, and happy growing.